Howdy and welcome to Rauta's Black Metal Reviews. This time we have a very special band in review. One special is that Black Crucifixion is one of those really early birds of Finnish black metal scene. Actually, they are one of the first ones come out there after or roughly the same time with Beherit, Archgoat, Impel Nazarene, and, well, then Black Crucifixion. Not exactly that strict timeline, but roughly you get the ideas, because this band was formed around 1991. And as such, they celebrated their 30th anniversary, 30th, not 13th, 30th anniversary in fall 2021. So they have been quite along in the business, but they never got the same kind of cult fan base as with Beherit, Archgoat, Impel Nazarene, or Baratrum. And maybe the reason is rather obvious, even though it find a little bit weird. The thing here is, well, Beherit pretty much did only the first few releases, that kind of a raw end of primal black metal, and then changed to something else. And Archgoat kind of vanished after a quick start, only to come back later on. Only Impel Nazarene has been there more or less consistent with their style. Black Crucifixion kind of started changing their career quite early on, and even left the band for a while, and then came with another band called Promethean, and then came back with Black Crucifixion. This is something that we went through more details in Black Crucifixion interview that I got to do recently. Thankfully, those guys are really nice and, in my opinion, smart too. But thing here is, Black Crucifixion has been back for a long time, but they never got to play the kind of a traditional 1990s black metal style that is of Norwegian or Swedish style. So they have always been a little bit weird, or at least unique in style. This one is Triginta, and indeed it's a celebration album. But what makes this rather weird is that it only has 3 songs, that is studio tracks, and the rest are live ones. The result is, this is some 35 minutes of an album, which has only, indeed, 3 studio tracks, about 12 minutes in total, so very little music in that sense. That is new music. And then those live tracks. So this is kind of a weird split. It's almost like an MCD having these bonus tracks, live ones. And it's an interesting case, but kind of a hard cookie to bite. Tough pill to swallow and all that stuff. Quick look at the Metal Archives before I tell you more about the music. As you can see, started in 1991, but really didn't release first album until 2006, and that was after Promethean was already more or less gone. And like I said in the interview, they go hand in hand, so they're maybe more like 2 sides of a coin rather than 2 different entities. After all, these guys played in the same bands. That is, if you take a look at the members list, you see Forna, E. Henrik, both being part of Promethean, and both are original members, more or less, of the band. So since then, there has been these few full-length albums, an album every few years, so they never kind of went away, yet not exactly being the most active ones. And I think in a way they are also quite underrated, given that, you know, they made unique style. Still doing that, and people, I guess, don't really understand it. Me included, partially because their music is very hard thing to understand in a ways. Now, like I said, this is some 35 minutes and mostly live tracks. The live tracks are not bad quality. They're pretty much actually hand in hand with the main songs of the deal here. But the thing here is, none of these are exactly good quality either. There's something very clanky with the sound, as if it's more like a demo version of those songs. I don't know, but the guitar sounds kind of a powerless, and it's not really clear and crystal crisp and all that stuff, which in my opinion it kind of should be, or then go super raw and all. And it's now decided to go with the middle path, which then again sounds a little bit weird. Maybe it's something that will grow on you if you like the music, but I had hard time enjoying the production here. It's not bad, but it's not really good either. Then the vocals, which are kind of interesting also, because they're not the typical kind of screamy vocals nor raspy vocals. There's not so much hate or passion or, you know, inhumanity in the terms of how the vocals are done. So they're a little bit like, why? I don't know. They have their unique style once again, which then again goes hand in hand with the album here, so maybe it's for some people that truly like it. At least they have really made this album to look like their own, you know, to fit the band style. So, what to say about it? I guess, because lack of better words, this is something that I would say progressive modern black metal. I know it sounds weird, but then again, maybe it's the Finnish equivalent to bands like Vedbuen's Ende and all that stuff. Not really the type of 1990s early black metal second wave. Definitely not the first wave where things were trashier and kind of raw, but not exactly the modern day of dissonant black metal either. There's definitely a lot of progressive stuff here with the interesting riffs and all. And for some people, it's like, wow, it's got to be a blessing. For some other people, it's probably nothing else. I mean, thing here is, when you don't have this kind of rawness, you don't have violence, you don't have atmospheric black metal parts, you don't have the kind of a melody catchiness, but something else. I really can't figure out how to box this if you really need to choose a genre. I would say progressive black metal suits this one rather well. Then again, if you take a look at what Metal Archives is saying, it's more like gothic doom. Can't really say I find this very gothic because there are faster parts also, and it's not really doomy at all when it comes to riffs and overall execution. Maybe it's kind of a gothic, but I would say it's more blackish. Maybe dark metal would be a suitable term, but definitely in the progressive side, because there are lots of interesting riffs, not necessarily good ones, but definitely interesting in happening, and that makes this rather interesting release. However, I have a hard time to get into, maybe mostly because of the live tracks dominated so much, and you really can't separate that from the entity. It's like, remove the torso and legs, you have the head. Those three songs are the head, but you really can't judge the whole thing with just having your head in your hands. So if it was more like 9 tracks plus 3 bonus tracks as live, maybe it would be different that way. But now it's more like the vice versa way, so I don't know. Hard cookie to definitely crack, and I don't know who to recommend this to. If you like something unique, if you like something that is out of ordinary when it comes to black metal, for instance, this is definitely for you. But yeah, give it a chance and figure out for yourself. I give this mild recommendation, partially because, you know, at least these guys are doing something different, and partially because some of the ideas are nice. But overall, it's a rocky road, to say the least, and that's what you need to know. But check out the links provided in the description box, and even more so, check out the interview. I think it turned out nice, because these guys can talk, and they have some fresh and interesting ideas about the band and the scene and all that stuff. And also about history, because this goes all the way back more than 30 years. So check it out. You will find the links provided in the description box or recommendation after this video. So check it out and enjoy.